Yes, once again, brothers and sisters, I'm here. Um, nina jambo dogo sana ningependa kujadili. Something that has affected the society completely. Na ukweli ni kwamba shule nyingi zimeathirika na mambo ya migomo. And I want to take a little of your time, a few minutes, to share with you something that people might have forgotten. Maybe to talk a little about my early life as a student. When I was in Serem Secondary School in South Nandi district, in 2009, I was in Form 1. During that time, 2009, 2010, we had a lot of school unrests, as we used to call them. And I can tell you, the then Minister of Education, Sam Ongeri, took charge together with the people who decided to at least cooperate with him. And he requested the principals that he would like to have a meeting with the students who are student leaders, students who could be listened to, students, these ones who are viewed as the motion movers in schools, those who are like the side principals. As the school made a decision, they also made another one and it was listened to. And luckily, Amoka was chosen as one of these students. We went to the Bomas of Kenya for a conference to discuss and share our ideas with the Ministry of Education to make them understand why the unrests were rampant. We aired our views to the then Minister of Education, a number of views which I'll be sharing with you as time goes by. But believe me, none of them was implemented, only because they were important things. I have never known why people only take non-issues to be of so much importance, and issues that could help a country are taken lightly. Among the complaints that we had, one was the prefects. Like in my own school, during that time, our then head boy had gone to Form 1 and beaten up all the Form 1s using a wire only because they had not washed the then latrines. I was very sad. I woke up that morning, went to the head boy's cube. That story is for another day. But what I'm trying to say is that it annoyed me as a student. And that's why when we went to the conference, looking at the whole matter, I was able to share this with the minister. That the prefects were one of the reasons why the schools were at unrest situations. Some of these prefects, if they hated you and took you to the deputy's office, I'm telling you, your life will turn into hell. But we looked at things and saw that instead of having prefects who just took things from their own perspective of understanding, take it to the deputy, and the deputy, without looking into the matter, immediately punishes you or expels you. If it does not matter to him expelling, then you will have some mercy by being suspended for a number of weeks. When you come back, you are already an angry man. You are already an angry adolescent man. And you take the anger to the school because the school principal is not understanding you. The school deputy is against you because they are listening to a head boy who hates you. Some Ongeri listened to us, and we agreed that we are going to remove the prefect's body, which was going to be replaced by a students' council. And the role of the students' council was to listen to the students, analyze the issues raised by the students, listen to cases before they take action or before they take it to the deputy principal or whoever was in charge, the teachers. Have forums of our own as students. That time, if we do not agree on something, then we were to write to the principal. Or if we had an issue with the school and we felt like we were not being listened to, we were to write to the principal and request to have an open forum. These open forums were suggested to be 3 in a town, where we would work out rules together with the school It's not a matter of just the teachers sitting somewhere in a staff room, coming up with rules, and then imposing them on us or on students to make sure that they follow them. You cannot follow rules that you have not really agreed upon. We saw this as a very good way to go, and some few schools took charge of this. In fact, I remember after we left that, most schools, you might be a witness, some schools decided to follow the path, and they were electing. Students were involved in election of their leaders. I believe some of them might be doing this to date, though some of them never began, including my own school, never began this. Others began, continued, and they are still doing it to date. I want to thank a few schools that I saw them do it. Like there's a school in Isiolo called Little Angels. During my early days of teaching, Little Angels practiced this under my patronage, and I was very glad. This was to make sure that the leaders in position are also in good terms with the people they're going to lead. It was not just a matter of imposing leaders on students. If our schools can take this into consideration, if our principals can take this into consideration. I've been a principal for a number of years, a few years, not so many, as my age might not allow me to say I've been a principal for a number of years, for very many years, that is. But my students can affirm that during my reign, the school I went to, I might not feel comfortable mentioning the name, but before I went to the school, there were very many unrests. Yet I solved these unrests with having discussions, listening to the students. That's the only way. Talk, agree, make students understand why doing such and such a thing is wrong. Come to an agreement, and there will be no conflict. But if you have people with a colonial mind, where a teacher or a principal or a deputy principal imagines that has become a demigod, where you want to make rules in your office, impose them to people, the same students who are listened to by their parents who sometimes, I'm sorry to say this, are a million times ahead of you economically, the student will end up looking down at you as someone who is confused, and will imagine that you should be taught a lesson by burning down the school. Therefore, this is my idea, which is a global idea. The issue of corporal punishment, somebody somewhere who is not a teacher was insisting that you bring it back to schools. Come on. If the government thinks we should bring back corporal punishment, I challenge the government to take us back to school and train us on how to punish students, because it is not anywhere in one of our units. We were never taught on how to beat up people. The government should take charge of that. We were only taught on how to train people to handle KCSE and KCPE. They want to put us in problems. And when we are in these problems, they will never ever stand with teachers. Never. I'm not afraid to say this because it is the truth. It is the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, I would wish that this gets to the people, to parents, the government, and even the students. Let them remind their teachers of these rules. Let them remind their teachers of these agreements, that we need to sit together and agree. We don't have to fight. We don't have to ban our schools for the sake of tomorrow. Let us live in harmony. Let us live in peace. We are only in school to be trained to do KCSE. And after the training, after we leave, we shall come back to the same school and celebrate. I don't have much to say. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Have a good night. God bless you.